Blair Show backstage at the second annual Dime Bash, with all proceeds going to the Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund. And I'm here with the voice of rock, Glenn Hughes. Glenn, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Eric. It's our fourth interview, so in the last 13, 14 years. I'm doing great. Eric, I'm here for two reasons, Dime and Dio. I'm here because I love them and my friends. To the whole world, they were rock and roll icons. They were my friends. They were two artists that were fans of music. They had their Sharpies out ready to sign people's autographs, and that's the... If you can leave that mark when you leave this earth, that you were a giver rather than a taker, and these two people are givers.
Now, Glenn, tell me about the emotions that you felt when you heard about Dio's passing.
I was in Italy. I was actually, Yngwie and I were on stage together, and I was, you know, we were doing a special event there, and I was told in the afternoon that Ronnie was been taken into hospital, and I got a call at 2 in the morning to tell me the news. Somebody woke me up from the hospital to tell me that Ronnie had passed, and it hit me like a hammer in the gut. You know, you just can never understand what it's like to lose someone that you're close to like that. And once again, somebody that gave so much. You know, let's not forget that Ronnie was a giver. So it really, it was devastating.
Now, what was the last time you spoke to Ronnie?
Last time I spoke to Ronnie would have been in the month of March. On the phone. I'd seen him at the NAMM show, and you know, I'd seen him on the TV on the Revolver Awards, and I knew he wasn't well. You know, I was sort of privy to that news, and I spoke to him on the phone in March. But you know, you can never prepare to say goodbye to somebody for the last time. You just hope that one would survive. Ronnie was a very dignified man, and he was very, very brave.
Now, Glenn, you were actually had the honor of sitting in for Ronnie after his death at a tribute concert with Heaven and Hell. Now, tell me about that experience. Was it surreal?
Well, when the call came in from Wendy and Tony, there was only going to be one answer, which is yes. Ronnie probably would have wanted me to there anyway. I'd want him at my, you know, the same thing. So, there's not many people in the world I would literally go out of my way for, but Ronnie was one of those people.
Eddie Trunk has talked that he feels that Ronnie James Dio was cheated when Black Sabbath got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Dio didn't. How do you feel about that?
I think if that would have been while Ronnie was alive in the last year, when Ozzy was more sober, that would have happened. Because Ozzy's a different man now, and Ozzy would have welcomed that. You know, so that whole dynamic would have been different.
You just put together an amazing supergroup. You did 2 tours with Black Country Communion.
Yeah.
Now tell me, what is that like being with all those? I mean, you're already a hardcore legend and fantastic musician. Here you are with these other 3 fantastic, amazing musicians. How do you get along and make that work?
I just think, you know, when we got together, I've known Jason all of his life, since he was 2 years old from his father, you know. I was at his house a lot, John's house a lot. I've known Derek 20 years, and I've known Joe for 5, and Joe and I have been actually kind of plotting something behind the scenes. And lo and behold, we were kind of getting ready for something, and then we announced to the world we formed a band nobody knew. It was kind of a secret. And we went in the studio in 4 days, and we cut the first album. And we went in there as friends, and we left there as friends. We really, really have come a long way as people. Jason and I, of course, don't drink anymore. And Joe's a really eloquently played guitar player. Derek Sheeran is a master on the keyboards. And Kevin Schill is a wonderful producer. I just think, Eric, when you get a collective of those kinds of people, once in a while, it may work. And with this collective of people, it worked.
Do you think there will be another Black Country Communion album?
Yeah, we're making one in June.
Cool. Yeah. And then a tour to follow.
2013, there'll be a tour. There may be some stuff at the end of next year, which I can't really speak about at the moment until we have confirmed. but 013 is more of a definitive moment for us. But look out for another BCC 3 next year.
BCC 3.
Well, actually, I'm going to title it next time. It's not going to be 3, it's going to be a title. Yeah, I think it's time to call it a title.
You've been sober for a long time now, but still rock and roll has its temptations. I'm wondering, you know, advice for anybody. I guess there is no secret to staying sober, but what have you done that has helped you stay on the straight and narrow?
I think for me personally, it stopped working. Drinking and drugging kind of leveled out. It wasn't any fun anymore, and I was like not getting high anymore or drunk. I was just becoming miserable, and a kind of a light went on for me. And once you cross the mark, once you really cross it, and if you work at it, and if you don't want to drink again, and you really try, you can do it. I mean, look at me, I should be dead.
And then, Glenn, there was so many rumors a few years ago that the Mach 3 Deep Purple was going to reform. Whatever happened with that?
You know, never say never, but you know, I think the time may have gone now. David Coverdale and myself were trying to put it together, and we put a lot of effort into it, and then we realized, you know, it's not really worth putting so much effort in when it may never happen. So there's only so much you can do. David and I have both got our own careers going well, so it would have been great, but I don't really think about it because it's like up to in the lap of the gods.
Glenn, let's talk a little bit about Dimebag.
Yeah.
Did you ever have an encounter with Dimebag Darrell?
Love Dimebag. I've known Dimebag since '92. I was with Dime and Rex and Vinny and Phil when Vulgar Display of Power went to #1. I was at South by Southwest. They tried to get me to drink on many occasions. Dime was a mischievous little bugger. He was a real fan of music. Signed everybody's autographs. The greatest memory I have of Dime was him trying to make me fall off the wagon. He never succeeded, but I miss that little bugger. He was so mischievous, a really beautiful human being.
So Glenn, then what is next for you?
I'm going to China in January to perform. I'm going to Russia. I'm going to do a European tour. I'm going to do festivals, and I'm going to make Black Country 3. So it's going to be busy next year.
Glenn, what do you think of the state of the world right now?
We need people to realize we are one planet, one race. It doesn't matter what color or tribe we're from, we have got to preserve our planet. We've got to conserve energy. We can't keep, cutting these trees down in the rainforest. We can't let our, mammals and die in the sea. It's just the oil. It's like it's crazy. We've got to really conserve. We've got to come together as one people. We're one planet, people. I mean, I've always said, and I keep saying it on my tweets, and love is the answer. Call me a hippie, call me anything you want, but love is the answer.
Glenn Hughes, it's been great having you on the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show. You are the man.
You hear that?
The Blairing Out show.